Matthew 6, verse 9. After this matter, therefore, pray ye.
Read it out here.
Mic is up.
Matthew 6, verse 9. Yep.
Around?
Yeah.
Book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 9. After this matter, therefore, pray
Check to see
ye.
if it is on. No. Oh, turn it on. Yeah. Yeah. I got you.
Test it, test it.
We'll do the King James.
Book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 9. After this manner, therefore, pray ye, Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. For if ye forgive men their trespasses, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. But if ye forgive not men their trespasses, neither will the Father forgive your trespasses. Hashem, Amashiach, Yahushua, for water from Yah, Amen.
Amen. Shalom, shalom, Yahshua. All praises to Yahshua Mashiach. Indeed, his mercy endures forever. Shalom to all of you. Welcome to Life or Death. Shalom, shalom, shalom to all of you. Let us start with the book of Colossians, chapter 3 and verse 17. Colossians, the 3rd chapter and the 17th verse. Shalom to all of you. Welcome to Life or Death. Read.
Book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 17.
Read.
And whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all in the name of Amashiach Yahushua, giving thanks to the power and the honor by him.
So everything that we are doing, whether it is in talk or in action, we must, we should, we ought to, and we have to do it for the Most High via Hamashiach Yahushua. As you can see, shalom to all of you. Now give me the book of Baruch chapter 4 and verse 1. Baruch the 4th chapter and the 1st verse. Baruch 4 and verse 1.
The book of Baruch chapter 4 and verse 1.
Read.
This is the book of the commandments of the Most High.
This Bible is about commandments. This Bible is about laws, statutes, and commandments. Read.
And the law that endureth forever.
The laws of Yah are everlasting. Read.
And they that keep it shall come to life.
When we keep the laws of Yah, we ought to expect life. Read.
But such as leave it shall die.
If we do the contrary, we ought to expect death. Hence the name of the show, Life or Death. Shalom to our brother Don Israel in Trinidad and Tobago. Shalom to our brother Denbo, my dear brother. Shalom in North Carolina. Shalom, my dear brother. You guys can see that the title of the show of this class is Prison Epistles. What does that mean? Prison Epistles. What is the meaning of that title? What does that entail? Prison Epistles. What does that mean? Now give me the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 9. And verse, start verse 14.
Book of 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 14.
Now, Paul, the two letters that Paul wrote to our brothers and sisters that were in Corinth, let's see what he told them. Read.
1 Corinthians 9 and 14. Even so have Yahushua ordained that they which preach the gospel should live of the gospel.
Meaning that some of our people, some of our brothers who are preaching the gospel, they can get some money from the congregation to live, to take care of the substances that they need. For instance, let's say that an elder, let me fix the camera very quickly. Let me know how it is.
You want want to make sure they can hear us. Yes, I know the speakers and mics are
Yeah. The one we see here. Meaning that if you can have a congregation, somehow, if the leaders of that church, they use some money to help an elder or to take care of an elder in that church, it is not a problem. Now, Paul is saying this. Read it with verse 14 again, elder.
1 Corinthians 9, verse 14.
Yep.
Even so have Yahushua ordained that they which preach the gospel should live of the gospel.
Read.
But I have used none of these things.
Yep.
Neither have I written these things.
Yep.
That it should be so done unto me.
So Paul says, even though I do have the liberty, I didn't use that liberty. For instance, here at that of Zion, what do? If if an elder is going through some issue, if we have to get together to help that elder, it is not a problem. Or somebody who is part of the teaching body, if he is in need of help, we do so for him. That is not a problem. Read.
For it were better for me to die than that any man should make my glorifying void.
My glorying void. Because I prefer to die. With verse 15 again, elder.
1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 15. But I have used none of these things.
So even though he could have, let's say, that used some money that the church of Corinth gathered together, he could have used some of that money. Read.
Neither have I written these things, that it should be so done unto me. For it were better for me to die than that any man should make my glory void.
Because I would rather die to prevent my reputation from going into the drain. Meaning that he is not glorifying himself to take credit. No, he's not doing that. Paul was a humble man. Now let's see what he says in 16. Read.
Verse 16. For though I preach the gospel, I have nothing to glory.
Meaning that I am preaching the gospel. I'm not doing this to boast myself. I'm not using this as a way to put myself in the front of everybody. Meaning that to show how great I am. Read.
For necessity is laid upon me. Yea. Woe
Meaning
is
that
unto
for
me.
necessity is laid upon me. What does that mean? Brother Denbo, Brother Don Israel, what does that mean? For necessity is laid upon me. What is the meaning of that statement here? Read verse 16 from the beginning, elder.
1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 16.
Read.
For though I preach the gospel, I have nothing to glory of. For necessity.
For. The word for here means because. Because necessity is laid upon me. What is he saying here? What is Paul saying here in a nutshell? How can you say that in another way? Brother Denbo, what say you? Brother Don Israel, what say you? What is Paul saying here? Paul says in verse of 1 Corinthians 9, verse 16, for though I preach the gospel, I have nothing to glory of. For necessity is laid upon me. Yea, woe is unto me if I preach not the gospel. What is Paul saying here? One understands that the writings of Paul, they are great. When you have an understanding of the writings, if I give you the book of 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 15. Yes, sir.
Look at 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 15.
Read.
And account that the long suffering of our power is salvation. Even as our beloved brother.
Our beloved brother. Remember, Paul was an apostle, but Peter was the chief apostle. Read.
Even as our beloved brother Paul also, according to the wisdom given unto him, hath written unto you,
Read.
as also in all his epistles,
Epistles. The word epistle means letter. Read.
speaking in them of
Yep.
these things, in which are some things hard to be understood.
Meaning that the writings of Paul oftentimes it is hard for you to understand them. Then Bo says, not sure, but Donizio says he is saying it is needful for him to preach the gospel. Basically, he's saying that it is my duty to spread the word of Yah. It is my duty to spread the good news because the word gospel means good news. So Paul says that it is my duty. For instance, I know many of our brothers from the tribe of Judah, they hate Jewy duty. I'm talking to you, Elder Baganyala. They hate Jewy duty. So basically, when you are part of a jury, it is your duty to make sure that you make a full analysis of the case, of all the evidence that the prosecutor and the defense they bring forward before you can make your judgment. So when you are part of a jury, you have a duty. You have a vocation. So this is what Paul is saying here. It is my duty to spread the good news to all the Israelites. With verse 16 again, Elder.
2 Peter.
No. Go back to 1 Corinthians 3:16. 9 verse 16.
First Corinthians 9 and 16.
Yes, sir. Shalom, Israel. Remember, this is a classroom. Once you get into the classroom, like the video, like the class or dislike it. They will both count as engagement. Read.
1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 16.
Read.
For though I preach the gospel,
Yep.
I have nothing to glory of.
Yep. Meaning that this is not a subject for me to boast about. Read.
For necessity is laid upon me.
So it is my duty to preach the gospel. It is my duty to let Israel know about the good news. Read.
Yea, woe
read.
is unto me.
Meaning that destructions will follow me. Read.
If I preach not the gospel.
So Paul is telling you here that if he didn't do that, destruction would come on his way. Hence the title of the class today, Prison Epistles. Prison epistles, what are they? So in the Bible, we have 4 main letters that they consider them as there may be some others. For instance, the book of 2 Timothy was written also when Paul was in jail. But today we are going to see 4 of them. The book of Ephesians, Philippians, Colossians, and Philemon. They are called prison epistles. Why? Why do they call them prison epistles? I see that there are 9 of you watching. Why do they call these 4 books, Ephesians, Philippians, Colossians, and Philemon, why do they call them prison epistles? Brother Denbo, what say you, my brother? Brother Don Israel, what say you? Why do they call them prison epistles? Brother Denbo says Paul wrote to the churches while he was in prison. Okay, now my brother, now remember, okay, I said that you put interrogation mark, so I cross them out. I put a period. Brother Donizio says they were written when Paul was in jail. Yes, both of you are correct. Yes, these letters, Paul wrote them when he was in jail. one thing that you have to understand is that whenever there is an election, oftentimes people always have a thing that say that something will occur. Somehow, some way, you may have heard people say that, oh, they will stop us from teaching. Or people may say that, well, the word will stop from going out. Hey, listen, Israel. Nobody can stop this word. You have to there? Nobody can stop this word. This is the word of Yah. For us to gather the 12 tribes of Israel, in fact, give me the book of Matthew 28. Start at verse, hold on, Elder. Nobody can stop this word, the word of Yah, from going out. Start verse 15. No, 16.
The book of Matthew, chapter 28, verse 16.
Read.
Then the 11 disciples went away into Galilee.
Yep, into Galilee. Read.
Into a mountain where Yahweh had appointed them.
So the Amashiach basically set up an appointment for him and the other and the disciples to meet in this area. Read.
And when they saw him,
yep,
they worshipped him.
Yep.
But some doubted.
Yep.
And Yahweh came and spake unto them,
yep,
saying, All power is given unto me.
All power is given unto me. Read.
In heaven.
Yep.
And in earth.
So if Hamashiach is in control, the Most High gives him the power. Am I going to fear a president? Should we fear a prime minister? No. Read.
Go ye therefore and teach all nations, baptizing them.
So no one can stop this. You can see that when the Romans were in charge, they put Paul in jail. Yet they couldn't stop Paul from writing to the Colossians. Yet they couldn't stop Paul from writing to the Ephesians. Yet they couldn't stop Paul from writing to our brother Philemon. Put it again, Elder. Verse 16 again.
The book of Matthew, chapter 28, verse 16.
Read.
Then the 11 disciples went away into Galilee, into a mountain where Yahweh had appointed them. And when they saw him, they worshipped him.
Read.
But some doubted.
Read.
And Yahweh came and spake unto them, saying, All power is given unto me.
What did he say?
All power is given unto me.
All power is given unto him. Read.
In heaven and in earth.
Read.
Go ye therefore and teach all nations.
Read.
Baptizing them in the name of the Father.
Read.
And of the Son. And of the Holy Spirit.
Read.
Teaching them to observe all things.
To do what?
All things.
To observe all things, all the commandments. Read.
Whatsoever I have commanded you. And lo, I am with you always.
What did Hamashiach say?
I am with you always.
What does Hamashiach say?
I am with you always.
Now Matthew 18 verse 20. Israel, we have the word of Yah in our hand. Yes, we know that they will do things. While we are able to do our best to keep the laws of Yah, let us keep doing what we are doing. Matthew 18 verse 20. Read.
Matthew 18 verse 20.
Read.
For where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them. So whenever we get together, and wherever we get together, Hamashiach is among us. Hamashiach is among us. In no way, shape, or form should we fear if a new administration comes into place next year. Nobody can stop the word of Yah. Nobody can prevent us from teaching this word. In fact, the Babylonians burned the Bible, yet
we still have the Bible. If you have any precept, let me know. Which
It was the Isaiah 55.
Yeah, good. Yep. In no way, shape, or form should we fear. No, we should not fear nobody. In fact, now is the time for us to perfect ourselves in the law. Now is the time for us to absorb as much as we can. Because we know that at one point there will be a famine of the word.
Isaiah chapter 55, verse 11.
Read.
So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void. But it shall
but by contrast, read.
It shall accomplish that which I please.
So if the word is coming, if it is going out, understand that at one point, at some point, you have to see the fruit of it. You will see the fruit of it. Now, in the church of Philippi, there was an issue in the church of Philippi concerning between Sister Sentish and Eudias. They had issues between them. While Paul was in jail, he had to address this. Now, why am I bringing this up? Understand that in the truth, sometimes we will have problems with one with another. Sometimes we may not agree with what a brother and a sister do. But we should not allow these issues to disrupt the body. Nor should we allow these issues to put a wedge between us. Now, let me ask you a question. I see there are 8 of you watching. If you have an issue with one brother or with one sister, what is the modus operandi? What is the mode of operation? How should we address that issue? We have to understand, oftentimes, it is the little issues like that that prevent us from attaining a higher level in the truth. Mother Debo says, solve the issue peacefully. Yes, my mother. What do you mean by peacefully? Because what is peaceful to you may not be peaceful to me. Peaceful to me may be to use my AK-47 or AR-15, whereas peaceful for you may be to address this brother in a friendly manner. You have a precept there? Yes. Basically, we're asking these questions to see that if you have been watching, if you have been studying. Before that, give me the book of Philippians chapter 4. Yeah, Brother Indonesia says, yeah, be angry and sin not, and let not the sun go down upon your wrath. Yes, I see, brothers, all these are good precepts, but how do you go at it? Shalom, Officer Baraza. Shalom, my dear. How do you go at it? Now, let's get the modus operandi. Matthew 18, verse 15.
Book of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 15.
So, the book of Matthew is part of what they call the gospel. The word gospel means good news. We have Matthew, Mark, John, and Luke. Among all these 4 books, the book of Mark was the first one to be written. Read.
Matthew chapter 18, verse 15.
Read.
Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault.
So basically, this one is something that we somehow, somewhere, we are unable to do that. We prefer to make videos admonishing one brother. We prefer to make videos to rebuke one another. No, go directly to this brother. Now, give me the book of Philippians chapter 4 and verse 2 and 3. Now, the book of Philippians in the city of Philippi, Let's see what Paul, in fact, Elder, give me Philippians 1 verse 1, then go to 4.
The book of Philippians, chapter 4, verse 1.
Read all the way to 3, or all the way to 4.
Philippians, chapter 1, verse 1. Paul and Timotheus,
Read.
the servants of Yahweh,
The servants of Hamashiach Yahawashai, read.
to all the saints
Yep,
in the Mashiach Yahweh,
yep.
which are in Philippi,
Which are at Philippi, read.
with the bishops
Mhm.
and deacons.
Yep.
Grace be unto you.
Grace be unto you, read.
And peace.
And peace, and peace. Grace be unto you and peace. Grace be unto you and peace. They say, as a man is getting older, he is getting some gray beard. On the table here, is there somebody with a gray beard? There may be one, I do not know. They say, as a man is getting older, the thing he values the most is peace. As for us men, we love peace. We love peace. So, how do you feel, Elder, when you are at peace? When you are at peace with one brother, you have no issue, no hatred with that brother. Shalom, shalom, Elder. Shalom, Elder on deck. Barak, Abanawa Yahawa Bahashem, Amashiach Yahweh Shabakatha. Shalom, Chief. Shalom, Elder. Shalom, Elder. So, as a man is getting older, he values peace more than anything else. Now, let's see what Paul said to our brothers and sisters in Philippi. Let's start verse 2 again.
The book of Philippians,
Yep.
chapter 1 and verse 2.
So we all know that these 4 books, the book of Philippians, the book of Philemon, the book of Colossians, and the book of Ephesians, they call them prison epistles because Paul wrote them when he was in jail, when he was in what we would call in Levite language, in storage. Even though he was in bonds, he didn't allow all these things to prevent him from spreading the gospel. Why? Because this was his duty. That's why he said that, woe unto me if I preach not the gospel. Read it again, Elder. Read.
Book of Philippians, chapter 1 and verse 2.
Read.
Grace be unto you.
Grace be unto you. Read. Now, when you look at the letters of Paul, it brings a sort of a sense of love, a sense of brotherhood. Grace be unto you. Peace be unto you. Read.
From Yahweh,
Yep.
our Father,
Read.
and from Amashiach Yahweh.
And from our Adon Hamashiach Yahawashai. Read.
I thank my power
I think my power. Read.
upon every remembrance of you.
So whenever I think of you, I thank the Most High for that. Read.
Always in every prayer of mine, for you all making
So
requests.
so he prays for the Philippians as well. Read.
Always in every prayer of mine for you, all making requests with joy.
With what?
With joy.
With what?
With joy.
So it is something that he did willingly. Read.
For your fellowship in the gospel from the first day until now.
Read.
Being confident of this very thing.
Yep.
That he, which have begun a good work in you,
Read.
in you will perform it until the day of Amashiach Yahweh.
Now go to Philippians chapter 4, verse 1.
Philippians 4, verse 1.
Read.
Therefore, my
brethren, read.
dearly beloved,
When you are reading the letters of Paul, you see terms of endearment, terms of love, how he addressed the brothers and sisters in Philippi, in Thessalonica, in Ephesians, in Epistles. So all these brothers and sisters, he addressed them with love. Read.
my brethren, dearly beloved and longed for, my joy. and
My
crown,
joy, read.
And crown.
And crown, read.
So stand fast.
So
in
stand
Yahweh,
fast, what?
in Yahweh,
In the Most High, read.
my dearly
My dearly beloved. So he repeats the term dearly beloved here twice. Do you see that there? Twice. With verse 1 again.
verse 1. Therefore,
my brethren, read,
dearly beloved,
dearly beloved, read,
and long for,
mhm,
my joy and crown.
yep.
So stand fast.
So stand fast. Do not allow anything to disturb you. Whether that party that is in charge now remains in power next year, or another party comes into power, do not falter. Stay where you are. In fact, like the priest said last week, go where you are planted. Do not allow any fear to knock you out, to knock you off of your game. You are in the truth. Your job is to make sure that your roots are really deep. Read. Verse, keep reading, verse 2.
Philippians 4, verse 2.
Read.
I beseech,
read.
Euodias,
read.
and beseech Syntyche, that they be of the same mind.
That they be of the same mind, read.
In the Mashiach Yahweh.
In the Most High. These two sisters had issues, but he addressed them. We keep reading, yep.
Verse 3. And I entreat thee also, true yokefellow,
yep.
help those women which labor with me.
Help those women which do what?
Which labor with me.
Which did what?
Which
labored with me, read. In the gospel. What can you see here? I see that there are 12 of you watching. What can you see here? Why do we have to bring this up? They say that we Israelites, we are misogynistic. Somehow, some way, we hate women. No, we do not. We want things to do. How do we want things to be done? 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 40. Here is how we want things to be done. How the Most High wants things to be done. For instance, at the Heart of Zion, we have sisters that deal with the food drive. Sisters that deal with decorations. Read. 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 40. Let's see how everything must be done in the sanctuary, in the ministry. Read.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 40.
Read.
That all things be done
decently. Some things.
That all things be done decently.
Yep.
And in order.
So the Most High says everything must be done, everything has to be done, everything should be done, and everything is to be done with order and discipline. That's it. Go back to Philippians chapter 4. With verse 2 all the way to 3. Chapter 4 all the way, chapter 4, verse 2 all the way to 3.
Philippians chapter 4, verse 2.
Read.
I beseech Euodias and beseech Syntyche, that they be of the same mind in the Most High. And I entreat thee also, true yokefellow, help those women which labor with me in the gospel, with Clement also.
That's all. That's all. Even though he was in jail, he addressed those issues that were going on between these two sisters. That was part of his duty. Now, give me the book of Ephesians chapter 4. Prison epistles, because these are letters that Paul wrote while he was in jail, while he was incarcerated. Read.
Ephesians chapter 4, verse 1. I, therefore, the prisoner of Mashiach Yahweh, beseech that ye walk worthy of the vocation wherewith ye are called, with all lowliness and meekness, with long suffering, forbearing one another in love, endeavoring to keep the unity of the Spirit.
Read.
In the bond of peace. There is one body.
Read.
And one Spirit, even as ye are called in one hope of your calling.
Read.
One power, one faith, one baptism. One power and the Father of all.
So that we have to remain in the Most High through Mashiach Yahweh, not to veer into any nonsense. Now Ephesians chapter 6, 19, all the way to 20.
Book of Ephesians chapter 6, verse 19.
You know what's that? Verse 18.
Verse 18. Praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints.
Read.
And for me.
And for me, read.
That utterance.
You know what? Paul is telling them to pray for him. Let's see why. Let's see. He's asking them to pray for him, even though he's in this condition. Read.
And for me,
read.
May be given unto me.
Yep, read.
That I may open my mouth boldly.
Boldly, for me to be able to do this without fear. 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7. According to some researchers, also the book of 2 Timothy was written while Paul was in jail as well. Give me 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7.
The book of 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7.
Read.
For the Most High have not given us a spirit of fear.
Yep.
But of power.
But of power, read.
And of love.
And of love. So wherever we are, for us to be able to speak the word of Yah with power, with boldness. Go back to Ephesians chapter 6, verse 19. In verse 19. With verse 18 again. 6 verse 18.
The book of Ephesians chapter 6, verse 18.
Read.
Praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints.
Read.
And for me, that utterance may be given unto me, that I may open my mouth boldly to make known the mystery of the gospel.
Yep, read.
For which
read.
For which I am an ambassador in bond.
So if I am in jail because I was preaching this word. I am in jail because I choose to preach the word of Yah. Read.
That therein I may speak boldly.
Yep.
As I ought to speak.
What?
As I ought to speak.
For me to speak with power the way I am to speak. So Israel, regardless of what you see in the news, whether it is, people may say that, well, they will stop Israelites from teaching in the streets. Hey, do not bother. The word of Yah will always go forth. Romans chapter 8, verse 28.
The book of Romans chapter 8 and verse 28.
Read.
And we know that all things work together for them that love Mashiach Yahweh.
So understand that whatever occurs to us, as long as we stay within the commandments of Yah, it will be for our goodness. Go to verse 31.
Romans chapter 8, verse 31.
Read.
What shall we then say to these things?
Read.
If Yahweh be for us, who can be against us?
So if the Most High is for us, who can be against us? If the Most High is for us, who can stop us? Now give me the book of Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 12. You know what? Start verse 10.
The book of Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 10.
Read.
He that descended.
No, sorry. Colossians chapter 4.
And verse 10.
Start verse 12.
Book of Colossians chapter 4 and verse 12.
Read.
Epaphras,
read.
Who is one of you.
Epaphras was the one that founded the church that was in Colossae. Epaphras was a companion of Paul. Let's see what Paul said concerning Epaphras. Read.
Epaphras, who is one of you.
Who is one of you, read.
A servant of Mashiach Yahweh.
A servant of Hamashiach Yahweh.
Saluted.
Yep.
Always
laboring, read.
Fervently.
What?
Fervently.
No, he was lazy.
Fervently.
So Epaphras was a man who was putting in work. So when you see that, when you come to the land of Zion, if we say that, or if we tell you, or if we advise you to put your hands in the plow, we advise you to do something for the sanctuary, we are not doing it, we are telling you this for your bad. No, we are telling you to do this for your goodness. Why? If you are in a spot, you are not doing anything to further the cause of that spot, being that, for instance, you are in the truth, you are in the light of Zion. Every Sabbath day, you come. Once the service is over, you leave and go. You do this continually. What will you get from that? Basically, you just come, you don't get involved in what is being done. No, you have to put in work. All these brothers, Silas, Philemon, they were putting in work in the truth. You know what, Elder? We did. Go to verse 7. 4 and verse 7. Read.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 4, verse 7.
Read.
All my state shall Tychicus
Yep.
declare unto you.
Yep.
Who is a beloved brother.
What is he?
Who is a beloved brother.
What is he?
A beloved brother.
Who is a beloved brother. Read.
And a faithful minister.
What is he?
A faithful minister.
So the word minister means servant. So this is a brother that people could confide. People basically, you could tell him things. Now, I'm not saying this to flatter the elder, but at the end of Zion, you are what we call in a Levite custom a cemetery.
Cemetery?
Yeah, basically, people will tell you things that they are going through, and you cannot tell that to other people. So this is something that we have in our culture, that we say that, hey, I know that if I tell it to you, you not tell it to anybody else because you are a cemetery. That's something that that Levi has. So it is a good thing. So when people are able to confide in you, people are able to come to you to tell you about what they are going through, and as a man of Yah, you don't divulge that to anybody else. That is a good thing. People could see you as a confidant. So this is what this brother was for Paul. He was somebody that you could rely on. Read.
And a faithful minister.
Read.
And fellow servant in the Mashiach Yahweh.
Read.
Whom I have sent unto you for the same purpose,
Mm-hmm.
that he might know your estate and comfort your hearts.
So for him to know what is going on with them. Now, Paul, we are in the book of Colossians. Remember, Paul wrote the book of Colossians while he was in jail. Read.
Verse 9. With one Silas, a faithful and beloved brother,
read,
which is one of you, that they shall make known unto you all things which are done here. Aristarchus, my fellow prisoner, saluteth you.
Yep.
And Marcus.
So this brother was in jail with Paul as well. Read.
And Marcus, sister's son to Barnabas.
Yep.
Touching whom ye receive commandment.
Yep.
If he come unto you, receive him.
Receive him. Read.
And the Mashiach Yahweh.
No, and Jesus, that was another brother. Yep. That was another brother. Yep.
And Jesus,
yep,
which is called Justus.
Yep.
Who are of the circumcision.
Yep.
These only are my fellow workers unto the kingdom of Yahweh. So these brothers that came from Jerusalem, they were also my brothers. Read. Which have been a comfort unto me. What were they to him? Which have been a comfort unto me. So that is why when we tell you, hey, don't stay by yourself. Find people that you can talk to. People that you can exchange words with. People that you can be
brothers or prayer companions with. Read.
Verse 12. Epaphras,
Epaphras, read.
who is one of you,
Mhm.
a servant of Mashiach Yahushua,
Read.
saluteth you,
Yep.
always laboring fervently,
Always laboring with fervent, always laboring fervently with fervor for you. Read.
for you in prayer,
In prayers. Read.
that ye may stand perfect and complete in all the will of Yahweh.
Because remember, Epaphras was the one that founded that church. Read.
Verse 13. For
Mhm.
him bear record that he hath a great zeal. for you,
What did he have?
that he hath a great zeal.
So
for
our
you.
brother Epaphras, who was the founder of the church in Colossae, he had a great zeal for the Most High in Hamashiach Yahawashai. Read.
And them that are in Laodicea,
In Laodicea, read.
and them in Hierapolis.
Yep.
Verse 14.
Yep. Luke, read.
The beloved physician.
What was he?
The beloved physician.
No, do not go to school.
The beloved physician.
Play basketball all day.
The beloved physician.
That Luke that he's talking about is that brother that was the book of Luke and the book of the Epistles. Luke was a physician. Read.
And Demas
Read.
greet you. Salute the brethren which are in Laodicea.
Laodicea, read.
Laodicea.
Yep.
And Memphis.
Yep.
And the church which is in his house.
Where was the
And
church?
the church which is in his
So
house.
this brother had a church in his house. Read.
And when this epistle is read among you, cause that it be read also in the church of the Laodiceans.
Laodiceans, read.
That ye likewise read the epistle from Laodicea.
From Laodicea, read.
And say to Archippus,
Yeah, Archippus, read.
take heed to the ministry which thou hast received in the Most High, that thou fulfill it.
Now, what is Paul saying here in verse 17? What did again, Elder? What is Paul saying here in verse 17? What is Paul saying here? We did again, Elder. Take your time to read it, Elder. Take your time.
And say to Archippus, take heed to the ministry which thou hast received in the Most High, that thou fulfill it. The salutation by the hand of me, Paul.
What is Paul saying here? Give me the book of 2 Peter chapter 1 verse 10. Now, this, I see that there are 8 of you watching. Let me read it again for you. The book of Colossians chapter 4 and verse 17. And say to Archippus, take heed to the ministry which thou hast received in the Most High, that thou fulfill it. What is Paul saying here to this brother? Many of you, the Most High gives you the talent to sing. Somehow, somewhere, you refuse to sing. He gives you the talent to do things in the school, but somehow, somewhere, you refuse to do so. Paul, what is Paul saying? Paul is saying the same thing here. Peter is saying the same thing here. Read. Read. 2 Peter chapter 1 and verse 10.
2 Peter chapter 1 verse 10.
Yep.
Wherefore, the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling.
To make your calling, read.
And election sure.
Meaning that your ministry, what the Most High gives you to do it with joy. Do it willingly. Shalom to Soldier Amawataza. Shalom, my brother. So this is what Paul tell Archippus here. Hey, the ministry that you have, the gift that you have, make sure that you do whatever is needed to accomplish the will of Yah. What the work that you have to do it. Go back to Colossians chapter 4, verse 8, with verse 17 again.
Book of Colossians chapter 4.
So the title of the class is Prison Epistles. We are basically these 4 books: Ephesians, Colossians, Philemon, and Philippians. These 4 books, they call them prison epistles because Paul wrote them while he was in jail. While he was in jail. Read.
Book of Colossians chapter 4, verse 17.
Read.
And say to Archippus,
Yep.
take heed to the ministry
Yep.
which thou hast received,
Which thou hast received. Read.
in the Most High,
In the Most High. Read.
that thou fulfill it.
So what the work that you have to do for the Most High, do it. Read. Because we are servants of Yah through HaMashiach Yahushua. Read.
The salutation by the hand of me, Paul.
Read.
Remember my bonds.
So remember my bonds. But he was in jail. Read. Remember my bonds. Read.
Grace be with you.
Grace be with you.
Amen.
Amen. So Israel, do not falter. Whatever is going on in the system, whether you hear that, oh, they will put all Israelites in a concentration camp, don't have no fear. The Most High, through HaMashiach, got your back. Psalm 72 and verse 18.
Book of Psalms, chapter 72 and verse 18.
Read.
Blessed be the Most High, thy power.
Yep.
The power of Israel.
The power of our dear brother done Israel.
Who only do it.
Blessed be the Most High.
Blessed be the Yahweh, thy power. The power of Israel.
The power of our dear brother Denbo.
The power of Israel.
The power of our brother Barzal Matazawad.
The power of Israel.
The power of our Chief Minister Shalama.
The power of Israel.
The power of our dear brother Amawataza.
The power of Israel.
The power of our dear sister Deborah Dennis.
The power of Israel.
The power of our dear elder Emrem Israel.
The power of Israel.
The power of the 12 tribes of Israel.
The power of Israel.
The power of all those who are currently watching.
The power of Israel.
The power of all those who will watch this class. Israel, do not allow anything to put fear into you. In fact, use that fear to further yourself in the gospel. Use that fear to make sure that you have, if you are in a better standing with the Most High via HaMashiach Yahushua. Shalom, Yahshua, shalom, shalom, shalom. Now remember Israel. Our aim is to further the gospel. For us to do this, we do need your help. Do it right now. Do it right now. As much as you can or as less as you can. If it is just with HaMashiach, we may have a summit. Once we get all the information from the leadership, we'll let you know for you to get ready. Israel, as much as you can or as less as you can, donate to this ministry via Cash App. $THEE LOZ. Or you can send it to the Zelle account that Chief Priest Kahan has, or Zelle it to 954-297-3705. Put underneath, put for the of Zion. For the LOZ. Now, my dear brother Denbo, I did see your comment under the last video, my brother. The question that you have, my brother, is it private? If it is private, my brother, you know I am your servant. You can call us via 561-503-7685. 6181. Now, for prayer requests, we do have a prayer line. The line for prayer is 754-367-4052. Now, they'll give me Psalm 133. Israel, we know that we are your servants. We are here to, in fact, before that, give me the book of Malachi, chapter 2 and verse 7. Malachi 2 and verse 7.
Book of Malachi, chapter 2, verse 7.
Read.
For the priest's lips should keep knowledge.
Read.
And they should seek the law at his mouth.
Read.
For he is a messenger, the Most High of hosts.
Oh, so now give me the book of Psalm 133.
The book of Psalm, chapter 133.
Read.
Behold, how good and pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity.
Read.
It is like the precious ointment upon the head
Read.
that ran down the beard.
That went down upon the beard. Read.
Even Aaron's beard.
Indeed, on Aaron's beard. Read.
That went down to the skirts of his garments. As the dew of Hermon, and as the dew that descended upon the mountains of Zion.
Read.
There the Most High commanded.
For there the Most High commanded the blessing. Read.
Even life forevermore.
Read. Bahashem.
Bahashem, Amashiach Yahushai, Tawada, Dumyad, Aman.
Amen. Shalom, family. Shalom to all of you. May the Most High Mashiach bless you all. Remember, for us to do this work, we do need your help. As much as you can, send your donation to $THEELOZ. Know that we will use your money to take care of the temple and to further the gospel. Shalom to our brother Denbo. My dear brother, if the question that you have is private, you can call us and ask it. If it is public, you can call us right now. Okay, hold on. It says, I keep seeing on YouTube videos claiming that only the Negroes are Israelites. All light-skinned from the Caribbean are Israelites. Is this accurate? No, it is not, my dear brother. It is not. Elder, give me the book of Jeremiah. Chapter 12 and verse 9. Verse at verse 1.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 12, verse 1.
Read.
Righteous art thou, O Yahweh, when I
righteous art thou, O Yahweh. Read.
When I be of thy judgments, wherefore doeth the way of the wicked prosper? Wherefore are they all happy that deal very treacherously?
Now go to verse 3.
Verse 3. But thou, O Yahweh,
what thou, O Yahweh, read,
knowest me.
Yep.
Thou hast seen me.
Yep.
And tried mine heart toward thee.
Yep.
Pull them out like sheep for the slaughter.
So he's saying that you know me. Now go to verse 9.
Verse 9. Mine heritage is unto me.
You know what? I'll start verse 7.
Verse 7. Jeremiah 12, verse 7.
Yep.
I have forsaken my house.
Yep.
I have left mine heritage.
Yep.
I have given the dearly beloved of my soul into the land of her enemies.
Into the head of so you know that the Most High gives us to the head of our enemies. That's why he says in Jeremiah 50 verse 33 that both, I'm just paraphrasing it, both kingdoms have been suffering. Read.
Verse 8, mine heritage is unto me as a lion in the forest. It crieth out against me.
Now go to verse 9.
Verse 9.
Yep.
Mine heritage is.
So this is the Most High saying. The Most High is saying that, hey, he put us in the head of our enemies. And now in verse 9, what did he say?
Mine heritage is unto me as a speckled bird.
As a speckled bird. A speckled bird is a bird that has many colors. So the idea that only Negroes, it is not true. This is something that brothers that want to be blackity black Israelites, they are the ones that come with that nonsense. Well, if this is true, what about Blake Griffin? Well, what about Naomi Osaka?
Seed of the Father.
Because Naomi, it is by, in fact, Numbers 1 verse 18, it is by the seed of the Father. Numbers 1 verse 18. My dear brother, oftentimes brothers will do these things just to cause confusion. Guess what? When you see these, when you see these doctrines, use them as a catalyst to further yourself, to perfect yourself in the laws of Yah through Hamashiach Yahawashai. Read.
The book of Numbers, chapter 1, verse 18.
Read.
And they assembled all the congregation together
Yep.
on the first day of the second month.
Yep.
And they declared their pedigrees after their families.
Yep.
By the house of their father.
By the house of their father. So now we all know that the father of our brother used to be a quarterback for the 49ers. Colin Kaepernick. So if this is so, that means Kaepernick now is an Edomite now. My dear brother, do not listen to these brothers. Often, in fact, once you hear that, use that as a way to better yourself in the Most High. Because we come, look at the elder, look at his skin complexion, look at me. We all come with different shade of brown. Some of us may be, that's why now it is Judah that came with this light-skinned, dark-skinned. But understand, my dear brother, it is by the seed of the Father. Shalom Yahshua, may the Most High Mashiach bless you all. Know that you are an Israelite by the seed of your father. Whether your mother was an Edomite or a Moabite, remember, it is by the seed of the Father. Shalom Yahshua. May the Most High Mashiach bless you all. Shalom.
Shalom.